Aaron Judge is a better version of Brock Lesnar.
What is something you love as much as the Charmin Bears love wiping?
As an opposing fan, you'd probably see his face and want to sock him between the cracks.
I don't know what peak is, but whatever I just did to get ready for this podcast, that is peak. Alex, how are you doing there?
We're doing, I wish I could say better. It is 97 and muggier than heck here in the Pacific Northwest. Here I am, as my title says, currently melting. And that's why we don't have Mac here either. He is completely melted. It feels like he's a lot smaller than me. He's already melted, so hopefully he'll be back, in the next coming weeks. But other than that, honestly, I can't really complain. We're doing all right on a number of things here. I'm just really excited to get to talk some sports here and just have a good time with a friend.
Yeah, as they say, road shimmer, wiggling the vision, heat waves. I'm swimming in a mirror, right?
Yeah, those are definitely words that you said. Yep, absolutely.
Yes. Yeah, sometimes all I think about is you, as in you, Darvish, of course.
I mean, to be fair, a lot of people just think about us. Like, people should be thinking more about how good you Darvish is. Like, peak really was. Like, that dude was
late nights
insane.
in the middle of, we're in July, so not June, but heat waves been taking me out. Can't make you happier now. It's true. Great song.
Actually, yeah, pretty solid song. I'll give it that.
Yeah. Great. Shout out to FIFA. They have the best music. Welcome in. This is Lost Above Replacement. No Mac today. He is off on one of his side quests. I hope he gets a gold coin or something for his side quests, because that'd be nice. I think we need more gold coins in our life, right?
I absolutely agree. So, okay, question then for you also as a gamer. When you do a side quest, do you like the quests that require multiple quests in order to finish, or are you a one and done kind of guy?
There's pros and cons,
Yeah.
It depends on the quest. It also depends on the game. There's some element of when it stacks upon each other. So I don't know. Like when I did the Ichiro 200 hits in a season, getting every hit is a little milestone, but the big milestones are 50, 100, 200, 262, and then he got injured, so it didn't even matter. That was sad days.
Truly indeed.
Yeah, it depends on the game. There's some that I like the stacking of it, and then there's some that the end goal is the ultimate thing.
MLB Power Pros actually does a really good job of it in success mode. I feel like they've got a lot of really good one-off things as well as quests that just keep building here. So again, for honestly, one of my favorite just one-offs here is you get invited to go to the mountain with Marvin at night, and it's a good time, just having fun. But then also there are the long-term quests that are a bunch of things put together, like dating someone. Dating Patty, where you can get Intimidator or Gyro Ball and all that fun stuff here. So honestly, no more shout out for more go-to game. So
yeah, I mean, MLB Power Pros is in fact the best game ever made. The only way it could be improved is if it came back and we could play with our beloved Pookie Bears. That is a look ahead to my time to myself, if I remember to do that.
That
foreshadowing alert. For
the it's like for the Spotify listeners, he just held up two fingers. I don't know why he was saying four here. That's just kind of weird there.
Counting is hard.
Counting really do in fact be hard.
That actually leads me to my favorite line from The Simpsons. I'm seeing double. There's 4 Krusties.
Nice. Eddie, always good to see you. Been in Hawaii the other week. That's awesome. Okay, to be fair, Hawaii, I prefer Hawaii heat to Seattle heat because Hawaii heat doesn't feel near as damp. Oh my gosh. XYZ ballin', always good to say. Good to see you. Ralph as well.
I believe this is true. I don't think Hawaii has ever been recorded over 100 degrees.
I don't think that's true.
Really?
I mean,
it's never been recorded below 12 degrees. I know that. Let me see. Hawaii highest recorded temperature.
I mean, because I feel like if you want to get technical, there's also
100 on the nose.
Okay. I feel like you could also do the loophole of if a volcano erupted, then that would make the temperature extremely hot.
Okay, then if someone uses a stove.
True. Yeah. Just put the thermometer into the stove, it'll be fine.
Oh man, that
reminds me
the stove. That's crazy.
You know the clip of the newscaster that had he was reporting the weather and someone messed up on and just put the other number in front of was it again rid of the old one. So it's that McKinney had like 101,000. It was like 101,000 degrees. He just plays off, goes, everyone in McKinney is dead. I mean, you take a look. There's no survivors in sight.
There's no survivors in sight, and honestly, that's what it's been watching the Red Sox. They've won 15 games in a row. 15 games in a row. Their longest winning streak in a quite a long time, and they have they're mosey on through the American League playoffs or the American League playoff picture. You can look and you can say, oh, well, there's a team ahead of them, a team ahead of Boston's like, nope, we're bang, right on the way through. They're even ahead of the Texas, Seattle, whatever is going on in the American League West. Yeah. The fifth best record in the American League belongs to the Boston Red Sox. Reminder, they were 11 games below 500 just a little bit ago, and they have been nothing short of sensational in recent weeks. And it's just, Alex, our little gimmick today, cooking or cooked. I think the Red Sox are pretty boiling hot, but are they going to be overcooked? Where do you think they land right now?
So here's the thing. I don't think they can get overcooked because, like we were saying in our group chat here, the Red Sox right now are in the early phases of making a dish while throwing out the original. They started making a dish early. Things were not working well. The team was not looking good here, and they made a lot of changes, decided to just throw it all away, restart, and now we're taking a look at one of the best powerhouse teams in all of baseball. Now, a 15-game winning streak is nothing to scoff at. It's not something that happens every day. It is a very, very rare feat. One thing I want to bring up on top of it, though, here is this is such a weird thing here for now the trade markets. The trade market looks significantly different now that the Red Sox more than likely are not going to be sellers at the deadline. A lot of people had the pegged as being sellers, selling off Duran, selling off Chapman, and now they're probably going to be buying here to compete in a very, very competitive American League East. But again, as we know, whenever you're making a good dish, it's all about the timing that you put in the ingredients. You can't just throw everything in from an omelet. Here, you got to put in things in increments to make it all work here. So right now, the Boston Red Sox are in a very interesting situation and have put themselves in a very interesting place.
Absolutely. And like you said, 15-game winning streaks don't grow on trees. The last time the Red Sox had one was 1946. For context, Jackie Robinson had not made his Major League debut yet. Harry Truman was the president of the United States. I was not alive.
I mean, neither of us were.
Good point.
I'm the old one of the podcast, so I can actually say
it. And that actually, 1946, famous year for American presidents too. Sure. No further comment.
Yeah, no comment.
That was a great World Series. Henry the Cat Brecken led the Cardinals to a win over the Red Sox. So shout out to 1946 trivia. But Alex, are you buying the Red Sox? Do you think they will continue, maybe not winning every single game they play, but do you think they will continue this general good run of form into a playoff run? Do you think they can, not to touch on further subjects on this podcast, can they catch the Rays? Can they catch the Yankees?
That's really the question right now, because we've seen a number of times, right? Teams have gone on major winning streaks very close to the deadline, and it changes their mentality on what to do. And then they forget that, oh, wait a minute, the team really isn't that good. You just caught absolute fire for a minute. So on this one, I'm honestly hesitant, because a 15-game winning streak happens with a lot of luck as well as also playing good baseball, which they are. They are playing amazing baseball right now. Sonny Rafaela right now, 4.2 baseball reference WAR is insanely good Here you have Duran, who's playing all right, and then William Abreu and Wilson Contreras are really leading the charge. I mean, what more do you want from this team? Here, I'll tell you exactly what I want from them. It's called consistency. How well are they going to do in August? Like, and I know a lot is going to come down to what do they do at the trade deadline. If they buy at the deadline, they really could make a good run here, but I want to know what their pitching is going to be like as well, because they're obviously going to be targeting starters. Like, I mean, right now, when your rotation's ace at this exact moment is Sonny Gray in the year of our Lord 2026, that's an issue. And again, this is not shade on Sonny Gray. He's a good pitcher. He is not an ace right now. Peyton Tolley, good. Brian Bayo existing is there. But you don't even have your number one guy here in Garrett Crochet. Here, Aroldis Chapman has done so much work for you in the closing role, and he's actually gotten to work the way that he has because the offense has been playing like this. Here, this is what we thought the Red Sox were going to look like at the beginning of the year. So you have to make the decision. Do you think that the Boston Red Sox that we saw that we thought they were going to be at the beginning of the year are the real deal now, or was what we saw at the beginning of the season the real deal, and now we're just getting that that memory flashback of what we thought they could be? And that is where you're going to have to make your decision. If they're for real, you buy. If you don't, if you're the Boston Red Sox at that point, if you don't think that you can make it on this, you are selling high on everyone here at that point. Because right now, the values on guys like Sonny Gray, like Aroldis Chapman here are through the absolute roof right now. So honestly, again, it just comes down to, do you think that what is happening right now is even remotely sustainable? If you're asking, because I kind of danced it around it a little bit, I don't. I really don't think what they are doing right now is sustainable, because it goes back to the starting pitching right here. Are you really expecting guys like Sonny Gray to continue pitching at a 1.65 ERA plus? Are you expecting guys like Jake Bennett to be pitching at a 1.75 ERA plus? Are you expecting Aroldis Chapman to be the best closer in baseball again? These are the questions that you have to ask yourself. And for me right now, there's a whole lot of ifs, and there's a huge upside here, especially when next year you're going to have, again, your ace, your actual ace right there ready to go in Garrett Crochet.
You had a lot of questions there, Alex.
I did.
What if you just said yes to those questions? What if you did trust Sonny Gray, and you did trust Jake Bennett, and you did trust Peyton Tolley, and you were optimistic about getting Connolly Early back and Ranger Suarez back, and maybe not as optimistic about getting Crochet back? But I think the Red Sox have definitely put themselves in a great position that even if you play more modest baseball, you don't have to win 100% of your games the rest of the season to make the playoffs. And I think that's the important thing. I'll pull up the Fangraphs odds real quick because they've spiked, but this is like what good teams do. And I know they dug themselves quite a hole, but now you've gotten yourselves out of that hole and you have a reasonable shot of making the playoffs. And like, that's all you can ask for. That's all you can ask for on Fangraphs. They have a 68% chance to make the playoffs. Like that'll work. That'll play over 2/3 of the time they make the playoffs. And they've, really done a stellar job. You played for 3 months essentially, and you were below 500 and really scuffling. And every week they should trade Gray, and they should trade Chapman, and they should trade Contreras again, and they should trade, although Contreras has a no trade clause, he'd probably want to stay in Boston. They should trade Duran. They should have traded Duran in the offseason. But their team has persevered. They have all of their arms, many of their arms on the injured list. Crochet has only made 6 starts this season. Ranger Suarez is on the IL. Their big pitching acquisition this offseason. He's been very good for them. He's hurt right now. Connolly Early has been very good for them. He's hurt right now. And you just answer back and you bring up a Jake Bennett, and he's carved. He has a sub 2.5 ERA over 9 starts. And you haven't gotten the best out of Brian Bayo unless he's the bulk option after an opener for some reason. And shout out to Sonny Gray. The ageless wonder. He's 36. He's dealing, and in a previous generation, he probably would be the favorite to win the Cy Young, and he might be, I don't know, top 5, but I don't think he's going to actually win the Cy Young. Definitely not with a 3.65 FIP, but it's shows a lot of perseverance, and it shows I would say, both the talent of the team and the chops of interim manager Chad Tracy to come in. And like, Alex Cora is a really good manager. He is universally regarded as one of the best in baseball. He will have a job in 2027 if he wishes. I'm a little surprised the Phillies didn't have him, didn't bring him in immediately. I'm a little surprised the Mets didn't bring him in immediately. But in 2027, he should have a job. And if he doesn't have a job, that's his choice, not any MLB team's choice. He's a World Series winner. He has gotten some really good seasons out of the Red Sox. This year was not that year. And Chad Tracy came in and he kind of, was there for a little bit, just kind of going with the flow, played about 500 ball for most of his first 2 months on the job. And now you've hit the accelerator. You found, the green arrow, right? The whatever cliche you want from a video game. I'm thinking of the pod race from Lego Star Wars. And you just have win after win after win after win after win after win after win. Like, the last time they lost was July 1st. The country wasn't 250 years old yet. And it's really, really showing something special is happening in Boston. And I think they can continue this. I don't know if they're going to win the World Series. I don't know. I don't think they're going to win the division, but I think they can make the playoffs. And if you get Garrett Crochet back in the playoffs, and you have all those lefties going, Ranger Suarez has been unbelievable in the playoffs. Now, a lot of that is stat padding against the Braves, I will say. Sonny Gray, not the greatest playoff performer, but he's a veteran. He's been there before. Early and Tolley, just absolutely gnarly stuff from the left side. It's just, that's a brutal matchup. And that's a team that if they sneak in as the 6th seed, then they could beat the Rangers or Mariners. Maybe not the Mariners pitching, but like, that would be like 1-0, 1-0 games. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I give them a fair shot at making the playoffs.
Here's what I want to say, because like, I agree. I do give them a good shot at making the playoffs, right? But I'm also want to bring in one extra bit to this here, and that is that each of the teams that they are going to be competing against here right now in the AL East, the two main ones are the Rays and the Yankees, right? They are going to get better because they are going to more than likely be buying at the deadline here, right? So at that point, if you are buying at the deadline, then you are basically keeping at pace with the Rays and the Yankees. Right now, as it stands here, it's not impossible for them to win the division, obviously, but you got to make up 4 games over both of them, basically. So how do you do, like, what does that mean? So let's just say, for example, right now that they do not win the division. Let's say the Rays finish how it is right now. They have the division. Okay, you now have 3 wildcard spots throughout the rest of the American League to try and work alongside here. One of them is definitely going to the Yankees. I mean, if they're on the same level as the Rays, they're going to be there here. That's just how it's going to be. In the Central Division, you have the battle between the Guardians and the White Sox here, and with how the divisions are playing out, it looks like whichever one of them does not win the division will make a wild card spot. Then you look in the West. This one, there's a lot more question marks to work with here. And we'll talk more about the divisions a little bit later on. But you take a look about what teams have the best chances of making a wild card push here. The Red Sox are one of those teams here, but I'm going to have to keep bringing in more questions here. There's a lot of ifs here because you know that both the Rangers and the Mariners are going to be buying at the deadline. You know that the White Sox and Guardians are probably going to be buying at the deadline here. And though now you've just added in more teams that are going to be competing for that last wild card. I think the biggest thing that is a good thing for the Red Sox at the moment is that it's not their offense that needs any help right now. It's their pitching. It's their starting pitching. So that means you at least have you have an exact area that you are going to be targeting here. And there's a number of teams that have already said, yeah, we are putting starting pitchers up on the block here. That is going to be their main goal. I honestly think that we're not going to see any major moves for the Red Sox for a week. Because at that point here, I think we're going to start to see a little bit more about what this team is made of here. If they can make it a longer win streak, or let's say they lose tomorrow, right? And then they go on another like semi-win streak, that's going to look pretty good for a lot of people here. That's going to look probably pretty good for the front office to where it'll make them really feel like they can win this here. By the way, yeah, Zabal and they should trade for Devers. That's, yep. But I will say one last funny thing. I love what the internet has been doing with this, where behind home plates, they have the sign that says, when the Sox win, kids eat free. So they've now won 15 games in a row. The kids are the size of Jupiter. We are getting there. We're getting close to having... So we are getting close to having children the size of galaxies. We're getting close to Mario Galaxy in real life.
Yeah, that I gotta love a good bit. I will say the quest for 16th straight win is not going exactly to plan right now at Fenway Park. But hey, who among us hasn't lost the 16th game of a potential 16-game winning streak?
Fun times.
So it do be like that. I'm gonna pull out one of the great cliches. When you have a player on the injured list and they come back after the trade deadline, they say it's like making a trade without making a trade. So if the Red Sox were to get Garrett Crochet back, they wouldn't get it. There's not a Garrett Crochet on the market. Yeah. And besides maybe Tarek Skubal, but we can talk to Ralph. I don't know if the Tigers are going to trade Skubal. I guess they could in the next 2 weeks. They probably should. That'd be exciting. We could probably do a emergency podcast.
Oh no, we're absolutely doing emergency.
It'll probably be like in the middle of the night while I'm sleeping or while I'm at work.
I'll just do it all by myself and be like, guys, this just happened. But
wake up, everybody. Alex, the Red Sox are actually hosting a team that had been red hot. The Orioles entered this series on a 7-game winning streak, and they've fought their way back into a relative playoff hunt. They are not quite as their playoff outlook, we'll say, is not quite as rosy as it is for the Boston Red Sox. Alex, what do you make of the Orioles? Do you think they can wiggle their way into the playoffs?
No. Just okay. Very easily no. And I don't mean
great podcast.
Yeah, no, like obviously I'm going to explain more into it here. And this kind of goes into what I was saying with the Red Sox here, that more than likely does not look like you're going to win the division, so you're going to be relying on a wild card here. And at that point, if the odds weren't already looking great for the Red Sox here, they're sure as heck not looking good for the Orioles here, where I think what is going on right now, and again, maybe this is just me being selfish here, maybe this is just me feeling kind of weird on this. I think that if you're the Orioles, you are very excited that you're winning a little bit here, that you're starting to make a bit of a push, that now the assets that you have are worth more, and then you sell high on your guys here. Because let's be honest here for a second. I don't think anybody has the Orioles for winning the East, right? I don't think anybody has them overtaking the Rays, Yankees, or Red Sox here, right? Like, no. I don't think that's really, really possible at this point. So now you're going to be, again, relying on that wild card. And do we think that the Orioles have enough to buy at the deadline to try and fight for a sixth wild card? A third wild card, sixth seed? I just don't think they have the firepower here at this point. And again, we see year in and year out teams that have amazing stretches, but we know that the talent just isn't there right now. Right now, Fangraphs has them as a percentage at a 21.5% chance. That is less odds than trying to get one heads on 2 coin flips, which, mind you, doesn't sound that bad until you actually do it. And then realize what kind of things are at stake and what are things that you could be getting from this year. So if I'm the Orioles, honestly, I am selling high. I am selling high on them. I am building up my prospect farm again, and I'm letting my younger guys here, my younger studs, get the playing time that they need.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point. I will say Adley's on the IL, so you're without one of your better bats. Your one hitting all-star this season. Alonso's been great. Taylor Ward has been great. Outside of that, the lineup has been quite inconsistent. You've gotten solid production out of Samuel Basayo, but Leody Taveras, Tyler O'Neill, Gunnar Henderson is not living up to his pedigree. Jeremiah Jackson has been okay. Jackson Holiday has been okay, but I do think you are missing a lot of the oomph that we thought the Orioles would have. And I went back and listened to our podcast from after the Orioles lost to the Royals in the 2024 playoffs. And we were semi-optimistic about how the Orioles had this future built. But we also said this was a team that had regressed from 2023 to 2024. And they went from being an ALDS team to being swept in the wild card series by Kansas City. And you had Corbin Burns at that point. You did not retain him. Stupid. I'm just going to say that.
No, I mean, you're not wrong.
And they've continued to backslide. And yeah, they've been on a hot stretch. And yeah, you have some decent options here. But I don't trust Baltimore to continue to make up ground. Boston, at least, if they play 500 baseball, they have a shot to make the playoffs. Baltimore can't play 500 baseball. They have to be better than 500 the rest of the way. Even if they wanted to get to 500, they would have to go, let me see if I can do quick maths, 29 losses and 32 wins. So they would have to play at a 52.5% win rate the rest of the season. They'd have to play the rest of the year at an 85 win pace. I don't think this Orioles team is good enough to play at an 85 win pace for about 30% of the season, 35% of the season. I don't think they can do that. So I have my reservations that the Orioles will be, fight their way back into playoff contention. Getting a win today, at least splitting the doubleheader with Boston is nice, but I don't think that's going to help. And I agree that I think they should try to sell high on some pieces and recoup more assets and kind of fiddle around and add more pitching. They need more pitching. That's kind of the name of the game. They've been able to accrue position players. They've traded away position players because they've had so many. Now, granted, some of them have not worked out. Kobe Mayo is still scuffling at the big league level. Jackson Holiday, former number one prospect, hasn't exactly been a stud. Adley's been up and down. Samuel Basayo, he's still young. He's a good hitter, but how good? Even Gunnar Henderson, he's, all-star, has been a high MVP finisher, and he's been pretty pedestrian this year. He's on pace for under 2 WAR, and that's not great from a guy leading the majors in at-bats this season. So, yeah. But the pitching, they need some arms. The pitching is held together, a 101 ERA plus this season, but Shane Baz has been average. Kyle Bradish has been a little above average, unlucky with 9 losses. Trevor Rogers has been okay. But your big additions, Chris Bassett, he's on the IL. Ryan Helsley, he's on the IL. Like it's a lot of meh. It's a lot of mid, and you still haven't gotten Felix Bautista back. At this point, is he like a real thing? Rico Garcia started allowing runs, so you're in a difficult spot if you're Baltimore, and I think they are below the line. I would say if you get to 30%, I think you can hear out an argument. And especially if you're Detroit, as Ralph mentions in the chat, the Tigers are better. If you're the Tigers and you're at 28% and you have Skubal, I can hear an argument. If you're the Orioles and you don't have Skubal and you're at 20%, I'm out.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I feel like the Orioles are probably one of the best examples of like the baseball hear me out for them making the playoffs. Do I think that they will? No. I legitimately just feel like they should just sell high. Like take some of your guys here that are getting closer to some of these declining contracts and just fill up the farm. Because right now we have seen that they are pretty darn solid at developing talent. Here again, guys like Samuel Basayo, here Colton Cowser, here Jackson Holiday, all Gunnar Henderson, all these names that have done pretty solid work through the Orioles organization. Here right now, this year I don't think is their year. Take advantage of that here and don't do what the Twins have done a number of times. And that is go on one winning streak, buy at the deadline, and then finish getting swept in a playoff series.
By the Yankees, no less.
By the Yankees.
Hey, they might have to face the Yankees if they got to the 5 seed.
You're not wrong.
I think XYZ Ballin has pitched a Devers trade to all 29 other teams.
Let me explain let me explain why the Colorado Rockies should buy for Rafael Devers.
Hey, they already have Chris Bryant.
Exactly.
I'm just saying two World Series winners is better than one.
I mean, that's true, but I also don't want Babe Ruth playing for me right now because the man is dead. He's a World Series winner.
Yes, with 2 different clubs.
True. Anyway, fair enough here. What's our next?
Sign Will Smith.
Which one?
Either. They've won the last 6 World Series.
Somehow they're going to just sign the actor.
Yes.
I'd be like, dang it. Yeah.
That would be a great Rockies bit.
Guys, we have signed Will Smith. And that comes out is the actual... Actually, no, even worse. They're going to bring out the first AI video of Will Smith of just the video of him eating spaghetti. Looks all just jumbled.
Here. With the Fresh Prince song in the back?
Yeah, exactly. Just making the absolute worst entrance.
All right. Well, one team that's making a pretty shocking exit, we'll say, of the playoff picture is the Miami Marlins. They were, rocketed rolling for a good bit. They were going to threaten the Braves, and it's like they're going to make the playoffs. They're going to make the playoffs, and now they've lost 8 in a row, and it's not going well in Miami. Alex, can you give Marlins fans, the handful of them out there, can you give them any hope?
All right. So Marlins fans, here's your hope. You lost it all. It's gone. It's been gone. Here, take a look at right now. Look at your situation at the moment here. This is probably the best chance you have at making a playoff spot, and it's not looking good here because I take a look at what they have going on here. Funny enough, they actually have less playoff odds, according to Fangraphs, less chance of making the playoffs than the Orioles do. And that's sadly kind of saying something.
That's an AL versus NL thing.
I know.
Your league is mid, our league is superior, buddy.
I mean, the problem is our league's still going to win the World Series. So
I don't think that's going to happen.
It will. Anyway, so back to the Marlins here. Back to the Marlins here, like we're actually talking about. The Marlins are in such a weird spot where I don't know what you try to sell if you do here. A lot of their core is fairly young here, and you do need some help. But there's one of the things that we notice here with a lot of young core teams. Young core teams are never consistent. Young core teams will have stretches where they will play 100-win baseball. They will also have stretches where they will look like the Colorado Rockies. They will have stretches where they will look like the Angels who try to cheat off of the Rockies. But that is the issue right now when it comes to the Marlins. They are in a very talented division. I don't expect the Mets are going to be in this position next year. I don't. I think they're too good for that here. Plus, Steve Cohen likes to throw money around. The Braves are a great team. The Phillies are regressing, I do think, but they're still a good team. Still a very good team. So at that point, you are now competing in a very, very competitive NL East here that has 4 teams, counting the Marlins, vying for the division title. The Nationals are absolutely there, though. But that does not mean that they are competing. If you're the Marlins, though, honestly, just build up with what you got. Here, you've got a lot of young players here that are absolute ballers. Otto Lopez is doing amazing work. Here, just let them grow. Let this be a season where you see that they are going to at least chase for that playoffs and they can at least get that exposure, but don't sell if you don't think you have what it takes. Because right now, the playoff picture for the NL, as you kind of alluded to, is a little bit different than in the American League. So, with that being said, though, Marlins, I really wanted to see you in the playoffs. I really, really did. I don't think it's happening this year, though.
Yeah, and I talked earlier in the week or earlier in our, I guess, season of shows. I thought the Marlins did some things well, and they should add a power bat. And I think that's still true. You're looking up at, Arizona currently occupies the 6th seed pending results today. This is from Baseball Reference. Arizona and Pittsburgh are split. The Cardinals are half game back, tied with Miami. And it's like, okay, none of those teams are world beaters. I don't trust Arizona. I don't trust Pittsburgh. I don't trust St. Louis. One of those teams is going to make the playoffs in all likelihood. I don't think the Nationals are going to make it. I guess the Padres could. They're the wrench here. The Reds, I think, don't have the hitting to get back in. The Mets, I think they're too far out. Like they'd have to go on a 16-game winning streak to get back to 500. The Giants, sorry, XYZ, they're cooked. The Rockies, they're cooked.
Yeah.
So I don't know. From a straight heat, I think the Marlins could be the best team of the bunch. I would pick San Diego, as mentioned previously, but I like the pieces that the Marlins have. I think they can work in these clutch situations and get them back into a situation that they can make the playoffs, and maybe they can put a scare into the 3 seed, which would probably be the Braves at this point, or Phillies, unfortunately. So I don't think they're going to beat the Phillies. I don't think they would beat the Braves, but do I necessarily want to face a team that has some good contact hitters? If they added a power bat, like that's a legitimate thing. You get Lopez on, you get Edwards on, you get Liam Hicks on, and you have a guy to drive them in. That'd be great if you're Miami. Imagine having Giancarlo Stanton. He's still on their payroll.
This is very true.
Granted, he's hurt right now, but still.
I will say, though, that if you are the Marlins here, you should take this opportunity at the trade deadline to add a power bat, but not just like one that you're going to have for this season. You've got to try and target someone that you're going to have club control for at least a couple of years, whether that means it's a big time power bat or you go a little bit smaller than that, maybe a younger guy that you feel like you could develop a little bit more. Because again, you have a very young core. Just add a little bit of power to that, and legitimately, I think there is a very real chance that they could compete in the near future for not just a wild card, but potentially the NL East title. Do I think that they will in the very near future? No, because the Braves exist, the Phillies exist, Steve Cohen's exists. What if you're the Marlins right now? Just keep building. Just keep building. You're not on a time clock at the moment. Your playoff window is closed, but it didn't open to begin with. Here, It's getting ready to open. Take advantage of that.
Sure. And I'll go right into the Cardinals. I think the Cardinals are in the same sort of bucket that you have a lot of young talent. Like I said last week, they've only had one player over the age of 30 take a plate appearance this season, and that guy is a 30-year-old. A very young team. Just keep it on the tracks. Build good habits. Keep it on the track. Hopefully you're going to play meaningful baseball in August and September. Maybe you make the playoffs and you're the Cincinnati Reds from last season and you get whacked, hopefully by the Braves or the Brewers or the Dodgers or the Phillies. So that would be a good outcome. If I'm the Cardinals, you enter this season, your win total's in the 70s. You're not expected to do jack squat. But the calendar's in the late parts of July. You are half a game out of a playoff spot, depending on what day it is. If we recorded this tomorrow, they could be in a playoff spot. If we recorded this yesterday, they could have been in a playoff spot. So that's the important thing that, it's not cut and dry. This is not the end of the season yet. They still have 62 games and things will vary. But I do think they are in a position that they are at something of a crossroads, I would say. And they did beat the Angels today. So they're tied for a playoff spot, at least as of right now. So you're at a point, I think you can continue to add pieces. You made some savvy moves. Maybe you would have wanted Wilson Contreras right now. Maybe you'd be in the playoffs. Maybe Sonny Gray would have helped. Maybe you would have been in the playoffs. The great irony there of them being integral pieces to Boston's stretch here. But I like what St. Louis is building. I think they have the pieces. And I think if they made it as a 6 seed, I don't exactly want them coming to Truist Park. I will say that. They took, I think, both series against the Braves this year. So,
Yeah, I'll say when it comes to the Cardinals, kind of like what you alluded to at the beginning of this here, just take the argument for the Marlins, Control C, Control V, because that's kind of what you're working with here. Again, a young core that just needs a little bit of time to develop. That's all they need right now. Are they going to make it this year? Maybe. Here, but I think that if they do make it, they're going to be the easy out, or maybe they go on a miracle thing to make it to the DS here. But even then, I think right now, if you're the Cardinals, you're not looking for this year. You are looking for next year and the year after that and building on what you have here. That's the thing that people keep forgetting here is that when you do a fire sale and you sell everybody, that is to build a foundation and then you build from there. Both the Marlins and the Cardinals are not in the building the foundation side. They're building up. They're building levels to this skyscraper to reach their potential. It is not just about like, okay, keep demolishing, keep redemolishing, building the new foundation. At some point, you have the foundation. Now just build from there.
It's like, oops, all foundation, right?
Oops. Is that oops, all contractors?
Oops. Do you have a question of the day, sir?
I don't immediately, but if you give me legitimately 2 minutes, I could. Oh, you got me? All right, cool. Yes. Time for the question of the day, brought to you by Splash.
Bang. All right, Alex, your question of the day. It's a would you rather.
Okay.
Would you rather have to drink every drink out of a sippy cup for the rest of the year, or all of your food is just a little too salty? Just a little too salty. Just a little teensy, but you can't change it. You can't unsalt your food, but it's just a little salty. Okay. Everything.
Okay.
Even if it doesn't normally have salt in it.
So I'll tell you, I already have my answer, but I just want to ask you a question. For the sippy cup here, do you have to drink it through the lid of the sippy cup, or can you take off the lid and go?
No, through the lid of the sippy cup.
Okay, cool. I'm still going with the salty food because I love salty foods.
Okay, fair enough.
Like I already put more salt on my food than I probably should. But
fair.
So I mean, if it's just a little too salty, who does that define by? Is it defined by me? Because it's defined by me.
Like, so think it's like your own OPS plus for salt. It's like a 105
salt.
Yes, it's like a salt OPS plus of 105 every single time. 5% too salty every single time for your taste buds, exactly. So you don't get bailed out by liking salt. Oh, I love salty food. Let me give the salt and vinegar chips. Nope. Those salt and vinegar chips are 5% saltier than you think they should be.
Okay, cool. So if that is the case, I'm still probably going to take it.
Okay.
Although, to be fair, that means that if someone else tastes that same food,
it'd be fine for them. It'd be fine.
They'll be like, I didn't know your name was Morton.
Yeah, that's pretty diabolical. I didn't know your name was Himalayan sea salt.
I didn't know your name was pink wine salt.
Yeah, it'd be like that. Seasoning salt.
Pretty anyway, what's your answer for this?
I think I would go with the sippy cup.
Yeah.
Just like it would kind of get annoying. Although I will say that eating extra salt or feeling like you're eating more salt, you're going to drink more water, so that's helpful. So pros and cons, I guess. So we'll go with that. And now we head to an ultra special prediction segment.
Ooh, it's time
spooky. I forget how I'm going to look up how I worded it in the group chat so I can keep it. All right.
I am pondering this orb in front of me.
You sound like a true crime podcaster.
Guys, today we take a look at the absolute horror known as the Splash Killer.
I'm sure that's a real person.
Probably.
All right, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for our divisional confidence ratings. Pew 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 pew. We begin in the only division that we care about here. We are ESPN. We only care about the AL East. We only care about the Yankees and Red Sox specifically. However, we're going to talk about the Rays briefly. The Rays, surprisingly enough, to us at ESPN, they lead the American League East. Us Yankee-biased fans could never contemplate that greatness.
Don't you put that evil on me. Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
Alex, what is your confidence in the Tampa Bay Rays holding off the Yankees as of right now, thanks to this glorious website that I do actually work for? The Rays have a 56% chance to win the division. The Yankees have a 46% chance. Don't mind the overlap there. That's because they're odds. So they have juice. Do you trust the Rays, or would you bet on a different team?
I feel like if I'm taking Yankees v Rays, right, betting wise, I'm taking the Rays. But if it's Rays versus the field, I'm taking the field, I think. Here, okay. Just because, and that's not saying that I have any distrust in the Yankees. That is, I think I have more trust that the Yankees or the Red Sox will take the lead over the Rays here.
Sure.
But I do think that the Rays themselves have put themselves in a very, very good spot, but I do think the trade deadline is going to be very important for them.
Yes, I agree. And the Yankees are getting back some key pieces. Max Fried pitched in the first game of the doubleheader today, or he's pitching in the second game of the doubleheader. He just pitched. Garrett Cole is back. He's doing his normal thing. Aaron Judge, when does he come back? Does Stanton come back? It's a really good team. I think, sort of like I said with the Marlins and Cardinals, from a straight heat, the rest of the season, I think they can be better than the Rays. Is that enough to overcome the deficit? Maybe, maybe not. But I would have more faith, like you said, in taking the field than Tampa. Boston, by the way, they were plus 2,400 as of last week. They've continued to shoot up the odds. They did open at plus 300. We move to the American League Central, which is a tie right now between the Guardians and the White Sox. The Guardians are favored odds-wise, plus 101. The White Sox right behind them at plus 182, followed by the Tigers, Twins, and Kansas City just fallen far, far away. Alex, what is your confidence? Well, I would say, what is your confidence in the Guardians or White Sox? And then you pick one. So out of 10, do you think it's going to be one of those teams? And who would you pick out of those?
Out of those two teams, I think it is and I'm surefire 10 one of them is going to win the division.
Sure.
I feel like that makes the most sense here. If I had to put money on one of them, I'm going with the Guardians.
Okay.
Here's the thing. I like the White Sox. I want the White Sox to win.
Mm-hmm.
The Guardians have been in this spot way too many times in the last few years for them not to know exactly what to do to make it to the playoffs and to win the division. Does anybody remember what happened at the end of last year between the Tigers and the Guardians? Here, something major upset. But from this here, I just think I want to go with the experience here. And the pitching of the Guardians, especially in their bullpen, is just nasty good. They know how to hold down a game. I think I trust the Guardians over the White Sox, but I do think that as long as the White Sox play even remotely how they are playing now, they're going to get a wild card spot. But for the division, I'm taking the Guardians.
Yeah, I would also lean Guardians. Ralph is trying to peddle the Tigers in the chat. I don't see that happening, buddy. Sorry, pal. Yeah, I trust Cleveland more than Chicago. This is a pitching question. Now, in a 3-game series in October, who knows? I trust the White Sox offense more, but I trust the game-to-game consistency more of Cleveland. I think they will prevail. So, yeah, 10 out of 10. That one of them wins. Probably a 6 out of 10 that it's Cleveland over Chicago, I would say.
Right, absolutely. I think that's probably the best way to go about it. Like it feels very much like slightly skewed odds, but closer to a 50-50 than anything else.
And another thing that's 50-50, the American League West, which is currently led by the Texas Rangers by half a game. So depending on when you're listening to this, they could be ahead, they could be behind, who knows? It's the AL West. The Mariners actually lead in odds. They're slight favorites, about 55%. Rangers are 40%, plus 150. The Astros plus 600. They're there. The A's and the Angels. I'm going to go ahead and take them off the graph. So there we go. This is some more chaos. You can see the lines a little bit.
More chaos.
Alex, I do have to ask you, what is your confidence in the Texas Rangers winning the division? You can say a low number and pick Seattle if you wish.
Can I pick -69?
That would kind of break.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna go negative. I'm gonna go with 0.001, and let me at least be reasonable here, though. I am gonna just say 1, because I do think we have not seen the best of what the Mariners can put out yet.
Sure.
I think that this team has played woefully underneath their ability, and again, maybe you could say that this is like me taking the copium or something like that here. But, I mean, right now you are playing with a team that has a lot of injuries here and a lot of players playing underneath where we know they can play. Cal Raleigh is starting to heat up here. I very, very rarely, which, by the way, just want to throw that out here again real quick here for Terry Francona walking Dominic Canzone to load the bases when you had the lefty for Cal Raleigh is one heck of a decision. It immediately happened, and the result of that decision happened in one pitch. Hey, I was there for that game. That was a lot of fun. But regardless here, I think that the Mariners right now are not playing up to their level, and I think the Rangers are playing a little too high of where they are. Again, copium, I get it, but I don't trust what the Rangers are doing. Legitimately, I just don't. I feel like some bubble is going to break with them. Whether or not that's me just being an AL West truther or something like that, I do feel like there is something with this team that they are playing well. I'll give them that. Their hitting has started to figure things out. Their pitching has started to figure things out. One domino is all it takes for them to fall down. And I'm going to tell you who that domino is, and you already probably know who it is here. What player on that team is a star player that has a big injury history?
The entire roster?
Yeah, basically. I'm mostly talking to DeGrom.
I mean, it does apply to Evaldi, Seager.
Yes. That's okay, I'll take that for my point then here on this. What has two arms and gets injured a lot? The entire dang team, it feels like. So, honestly, right now, I feel like the Mariners have yet to show their best ball. And I think once they make a move at the deadline to acquire some help, maybe an infielder, maybe another bullpen piece, who knows? I think we're going to start to see a little bit more about what the Mariners can actually do. So, my confidence, of course, is going to lie with my Mariners here, but I do think that if Texas holds where they're at right now and they buy at the deadline, there is a very real chance that they win. But my confidence right now for them holding it is still at a 1.
Okay. I think I would split my confidence up. I'd go Mariners 5, Rangers 4, Astros 1. I think the Astros do have like a path back. I don't think either the Rangers nor the Mariners are these world beaters. Entering play today, the Astros were 3 back of Texas, 2.5 back of Seattle. That's a week. Like you play Seattle in a series, you take 2 out of 3, or you sweep them. You play Texas in a series, you take 2 out of 3, you sweep them. You're right back in the thick of it. And like I said earlier, the dead heat sort of stuff, maybe they're better over the rest of the season. It's just a matter of can you reverse 3-game deficit. And I think Houston can do that. I don't know if they will. I wouldn't necessarily bet on it. Maybe if I got 10-1 odds, I would pull that trigger. But right now they were at plus 600. Not good enough for me. I think that's a little too high. I would back Seattle. If you can get them at plus money, I'd happily take Seattle. I don't mind Texas. Texas getting Seager back would be great. He hasn't been himself this season, but they have had bounce back seasons from Jock Peterson. Brendan Nimmo's had a pretty solid season. Jake Berger's had a bounce back season. Josh Young was a borderline all-star. Wyatt Langford, he's back. Ezekiel Duran is having a good season. So it's just a matter of, can the Rangers string together some solid performances, or are they going to be cooked? And the pitching, frankly, has disappointed me. Jacob deGrom has been barely above average. Nate Eovaldi has been not very good. Mackenzie Gore has been objectively bad. Like an 81 OPS or 81 ERA plus, like that's not fooling anyone. Kumar Rocker hasn't been particularly good. Jack Leiter has not been good. He's on the IL. You've had a lot of benefit from Jacob Latz being an all-star level closer this season, but I would have more confidence in Seattle. I think they reverse the deficit and win the division. I'm not out on Texas, but I'm trending towards being out on Texas, I'd say.
I understand that. Yeah.
All right. We move on to my division and Mac's division, the AL East. We will take the Mets and Nationals off here. I'll give you the odds for the giggles. The Braves sit at minus 245, about 71%. Phillies plus 194, 34%. Marlins plus 3,000. Nationals plus about 13,000. And the Mets about plus 25,000. So, Alex, what is your confidence in the Atlanta Braves maintaining their division lead? And
I'm going to say at about a 6.
Okay.
Here, I think that they are a very, very good team, and they're going to be getting better pretty soon. Overall, I would say, especially since I don't know if you saw the graphic from Gwinnett here that they had like 25 years of pro ball experience on their minor league roster.
Like 800 home runs yesterday. They lost, by the way. To the Cubs.
They did lose. That was really funny.
Yeah.
But regardless here, anyway. I think legitimately when it comes to the Braves, the biggest hurdle that they're going to have is just getting over the number of injuries. Because as you and I both know, they've gotten severely hit by the injury bug. Your Pookie Bear still hasn't pitched. But anyway, regardless here, I still think that they are a very, very good team that has played, honestly, above where I expected them to with the injuries accounted for. Here, I do think that the Phillies have a good chance to overtake them, but it's really going to come down to if they are able to pull the trigger on it, because they are a regressing team. That young core that made the World Series runs and all that here, or young-ish core,
yeah,
getting a bit older now. Here, Brandon Marsh, getting a bit older. Bryce Harper, getting a bit older here now. And
I mean, I guess we are all getting a little bit older.
And yes, but you know what I mean in this case, though, here. Yeah. Also, by the way, JT Realmuto, yeah, he's there, I guess. Oh, so, God. With that being said here, I think my confidence still lasts more with the Braves here. I'm going with a 6-3 for the Phillies, and then just a shot in the dark one for the Marlins, because why not?
Sure. I'd go probably about a 6.5 for Atlanta. I have my concerns when you get past the first pitcher. Chris Sale, he is unbelievable. He's probably second in Cy Young odds, third in Cy Young odds. He's right there. He's been unbelievable this season. Who's starting game 2? It's not a good pitcher. It's not someone I trust. It's Ronaldo Lopez or today Martin Perez started. And hey, to Martin Perez's credit, he shut out the Padres. So good for him. But I have some concerns with the pitching. The bullpen is unbelievable. It really is. Iglesias Suarez isn't back yet, which I am getting concerned about. I thought it was going to be like a short stint, but it's, trickling towards a month now. Fuentes is great. Lee is great. Kinley, can we stop allowing home runs on the slider, please? Victor Medeiros. Babe Ruth Medeiros, baby. He got a base hit in his first big league at bat. Yes, that's absolutely a pitcher getting a hit and a 2 RBI single. I can't believe it. Yeah, like I said, Diddy's great. It really comes down to the pitching, and this is a case of, I think if the season ended and this was the 3 versus 6, I would take the Phillies because they have the pitching, and that's just unfortunately how it goes sometimes. That maybe by the end of the season, you have one of the Spencers back. Waldrop has figured it out at AAA. But it's just been really brutal with the pitching. And the pitching had been so good. Bryce Elder, I forgot to mention him. He had a good start the other day, I'll say that. He did allow 2 jacks, so. But then Medeiros came through in the clutch. What a lad.
Does your 6 jump up to a 7 or 8 if they do target a strong level starting pitcher in trades?
Yeah, if you got a guy that I would be comfortable starting, like if he was the 3, we're say for the sake of argument, you got one of the Spencers back, and he was like a 3 level, like say Sonny Gray level, not Sonny Gray himself, but a Sonny Gray level, maybe a smidge better than Sonny Gray. I would say more like a 7 or an 8. The lineup has looked a lot better of late. They've only scored the 1 run today, but Harris is great. Baldwin's been heating up. Olsen, Riley's been heating up a little bit. Ozzie has some power. You're going to get Ronald back, hopefully Friday. Yastrzemski's off the IL. So I think they have the hitting and the bullpen to make noise and continue to win games. The starting pitching does alarm me. And
does alarm me.
Yes, the Phil's going to choke. Typical. I mean, that's kind of how the playoffs work. 11 out of 12 teams don't win the World Series, so fair enough.
In fact, one was like 29 out of 30 teams do not win the World Series every year. That's a bold stat, I know.
Yeah, that's one of my pet peeves. It's like, oh, they're probably not going to win the World Series. Or I see this a lot as a Ravens fan. Oh, they're not going to win the Super Bowl with Lamar. Yeah, duh. You're betting on 31 out of 32 odds here.
Exactly.
Like you're not. That's nothing special. The Chiefs probably aren't going to win it this year. The Bills probably aren't going to win it. The Rams aren't. The Seahawks probably aren't going back to back. I can play that game for all 32 teams. One of them's going to be wrong, but I'll be right 31 times. So
exactly, and that's a really good score on an essay.
Yeah, 31 out of 32. I would take that. All right, we move to the NL Central, led by our Lord and Saviors, the Milwaukee Brewers, and their Devil Magic. Is this one worth much of a conversation?
No, and neither is the next division either.
All right. Congratulations. This was Losses Above Replacement. The greatest podcast to grace your ears. I'm Mac. He's Splash. Congratulations.
And here's Alex. This is the water ball.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like, okay, we'll give it a little bit here. The Brewers are just on another level right now. They are playing such incredible ball, and they are going to be buying at the deadline. They're just going to keep getting better. Here, I do legitimately think there's a real chance that the NLCS is just Brewers-Dodgers here. But at the same time here, like the Brewers are playing really good. The Cubs are picking things up here too. Here, but the difference is the Brewers are tied for the best record in all of baseball right now, with that other team being the Dodgers. So when you have a 6.5 game lead here, and we're 2 weeks away from the trade deadline, something like that, I feel pretty good that they're going to keep going like this because there have been no signs of them slowing down.
Sure. Yeah, we can have our qualms with the Brewers. Can they win in the playoffs? I don't know. I mean, they did play a juggernaut Dodgers team last year and got wrecked, boat raced. But now you have Kyle Harrison, you have The Miz. So maybe they can fire off a couple shots and win a couple games. So who knows?
I mean, legitimately, I don't see how you, in the playoffs, I don't see how you hit Miz. I just don't see how you do.
Well, you just wait for him to throw ball 4, or you wait for him to be lifted from the game because he's not going to throw complete games.
So what you're saying is you play him the same way you play Sitch in MLB Power Pro 2008.
Yes, exactly. So maybe you get lucky and get a couple hits there and boost the old pitch count. But yeah, I wouldn't be fooling around with it very much. Although someone had hit a ball like hit one of his 103 mile per hour pitches the other day. So credit to, I think, the Mets, someone on the Mets. Congratulations, Mets. Let's go, Mets, baby. Let's talk about the Mets.
It's like, baby, let's go, Mets. Hit another home run, baby.
All right. And the Dodgers, we're good.
Yeah, we're good there. I will say that.
Actually, here's the game. Your confidence they win the division by 10 games. They're up 11.
On that one, I'm going to say 8.
Yeah.
Because I do think that, well, actually, no, I'm going to say 10 again. Yeah. And it's because I have another question here for you.
Sure.
Do the Padres sell?
Oh my God. If the Padres sell, I'm going to go to San Diego. I'm going to walk from here to San Diego. I'm going to knock on AJ Preller's door and say, you are stupid.
I mean, that'd probably be the nicest way of going about it.
Yeah, that's true.
There have been so many rumored trade packages for Mason Miller. I'm like, God.
All of them are from the Yankees, and all of them are bad.
Oh, to be fair, legitimately, I have not yet seen a good trade, like mock trade, anywhere on social media.
Yeah. We're going to give our number 20 prospect and number 5 prospect that had been our number 1 prospect, but he's been buns this year, so none of us like him anymore. So we're going to trade that. We're going to trade that. We're going to trade a bad contract we don't want, and we're going to trade Ryan McMahon. The Padres aren't taking that.
No,
I'm sorry.
If you don't want him, why do you think they want him? Like, let's be honest and real here, boys.
Not Yankees fans' strong suit.
Yeah. Fair, but not.
All right, Alex, that wraps us up for our confidence meter. If I was a more skilled graphic, or if I had talked to Jack, we probably could have had a graphic for it, but that's okay.
We probably could have. But does that mean
the Braves? No.
Well, the Braves done.
They allowed a game tying homer to Jackson Merrill.
Oh no. My Mariners have made me sad today. They lost a series to the Reds.
Oh!
I was there for the game they won, though.
Last laugh.
Yeah, but we still won the first game like 7-1.
It'd be like that. Sir, anyway. I heard Mac told me you have trivia today.
I do, in fact, have trivia, so let's roll that graphic. It's trivia time. And you guys all know, when I get to do trivia, it is going to be very silly.
Oh, God.
We get to have fun trivia here that is not stat-related at all. So, you get to play a game I like to call Who Said That?
Oh, brother.
Oh, no, don't worry. It's a 50-50 chance for all of these.
Oh, is this inspired by the group chat text?
Kind of, but not really.
Oh, okay.
A little bit. I have a list of 20 quotes. 20. We're going to go through each one of them. You are going to tell me if this quote is from a baseball player or a wrestler, because it's me. I have to put wrestling in here somewhere.
This is your payback for all the times I removed you from the stream.
A little bit, yeah. But
again, Alex is off the stream now. Congratulations. All right.
But I will say, it's again, you don't have to tell me the name of anybody. You just need to say if it is a wrestler or a baseball player. So, like, for example, if I said here, who said this quote, "If you smell what the Rock is cooking," you'd probably say that's a wrestler, which you would be right.
I think that's actually Luis Castillo.
You're not wrong. But, and then, like, let's say here, one of the quotes was, "I don't want to play first base." Here, you would say that's Rafael Devers.
Oh.
So, does it make sense?
Wouldn't it be in Spanish, though?
I can't speak Spanish. You can't make me do this on the spot. I do sign language.
You like that.
Anyway, so you understand how the game works. Again, there are 20 here. Just going to try and get as high of a score as you can.
All right, let's do it.
All right, the first one. The first quote. Who said, "Know your role and shut your mouth"?
That's a wrestler.
That is a wrestler. That is Dwayne The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, Dwayne The Rock.
Okay.
Here. So you're at 1. Next.
I know that one.
Nobody goes there anymore. It's too crowded.
I'll say another wrestler.
No, that's Yogi Berra, referring to certain teams. So you are at 1 for 2.
Okay.
Next one. Hard work pays off. Dreams come true. Bad times don't last, but bad guys do.
I'm going to say wrestler.
That is a wrestler. That is from the dearly departed Scott Hall, the bad guy. We love him dearly. Rest in peace.
Okay.
Next
also,
up.
I do want to throw this out for podcast sake. If the Braves continue to suck, I'm all the way against Danhausen. If the Braves revive themselves, Braves Today podcast host Lindsey Crosby donated human monies? Is that what the gimmick is? He donated human monies to Danhausen, and Danhausen did a cameo. So it's all riding on this, buddy. If the Braves are still cursed, it's done. It's all over. It's all over. The podcast will be called Replacement Below Losses, Replacement Below Wins. We're all done.
I mean, to be fair, Danhausen is currently perfect in his mainstream picks. So except for the Mets, but we don't count that. Anyway, next up here. Okay. The numbers don't lie, and they spell disaster.
I'm going to say baseball.
No, that's a wrestler. That is from Scott Steiner in his famous Steiner Maths promo.
Oh, I think you sent that to me.
I have. That's why I was hoping you get that one here. But anyway, regardless, I should also probably say there's 20. That does not mean that it is 10 and 10. So you can't keep cracking your head for that one.
Oh, God.
All right, the next one. There's always some kid who may be seeing me for the first time. I owe him my best.
Okay, definitely someone in both has said that. I'm going to say baseball for this one.
That is correct. That is Joe DiMaggio who has said that one directly here. So these, I want to be very clear. These are quotes directly taken offline. It's not online. That does not mean that it has not ever been said. But to be fair, very few things have only ever been said once.
True.
So we
could have a sentence like, I think the double wall vacuum insulation is the Braves' best starting pitcher right now.
That is definitely a sentence that has probably never been said before.
Yes.
Anyway,
probably will never be said again.
Probably. This is a moment in history now.
Yes.
Anyway, next
I'm entering a flow state. A flow state 3-position lid.
All right. Who said blood, sweat, and respect? The first 2 you give, the last you earn.
I'm going to say baseball.
That is incorrect. That is another one from The Rock. All right, next up. It's hard to beat a person who never gives up.
I'm going to say wrestler.
No, that was Babe Ruth.
Come on, Bambino. Come on, George.
All right, next up here. You should seek approval from yourself.
I'm going to say wrestler.
No, that's Ichiro Suzuki, who said that in his Cooperstown speech.
Okay.
So, All right,
I'm
next
getting
up.
fried here. Deep fried splash. Although I have trivia for next week, so that's exciting.
Okay, fantastic. Yes, I'm excited for that. Please don't be too mean to me. I'm the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be.
I'm going to say wrestler.
That is a wrestler. That is the main phrase of one Bret the Hitman Hart.
Okay.
All right. Fans don't boo nobodies.
Baseball, 100%.
Yep, that is Reggie Jackson who said that one.
Did I tell you about the story of Reggie Jackson beating up a guy in the parking lot?
I think you did here.
Okay.
Let's save that for another time here. Let's keep going through this. All right. Confidence is how you go about your business. Cocky is when you have to explain it to somebody.
Wrestler.
No, that's Ken Griffey Jr.
Oh.
So.
Wow. Ay.
See, there's a lot more overlap than you probably thought.
Yeah.
All right. The only person that is going to tell you that you can't do things in life are people who failed.
Wrestler.
Yep, that is from one Chris Jericho. Break the walls down.
Okay.
All right. You should always go to other people's funerals. Otherwise, they won't come to yours. This is a real quote, by the way.
Wrestler?
Nope, that's Yogi Berra.
Oh my God. Yogi's killing me.
Yogi is like, look, I tried not to just put Yogi for like all of the baseball quotes because he really could be all of them.
You could have done Yogi or Yoda.
The problem is Yoda, like, fair enough. I would have had to like unscramble the Yoda phrase.
Or you could scramble the Yogi ones.
Sure, fair enough. All right. Everything happens for a reason, and it possibly does. I just haven't found the reason that this all happened yet.
I'll go wrestler.
Yep, that is from Jerry the King Lawler. Here, going about, especially for some of his health issues.
Sure.
Anyway.
Okay.
This is a real quote. I'm so excited for this one. And it very much is fitting for the last one. The doctors x-rayed my head and found nothing.
If this is a baseball player, I'm going to fight you. I'm going to pick wrestler.
It's a baseball player. It's Dizzy Dean.
Not the Hall of Famer.
Hall of Famer Dizzy Dean.
Oh, brother.
All right. Next up. Practice without improvement is meaningless.
I'm going to go wrestler.
Yep, that was from legendary trainer Chuck Knox.
Okay.
All right, next up. They say I'm insane. I say thank you very much.
I'm going to say wrestler. I do hope that's a baseball player because that guy's going to be my favorite player of all time.
Unfortunately, it is a wrestler.
Dang it.
That's from Roddy Piper.
Okay.
All right. Enjoying success requires the ability to adapt. Only by being open to change will you have a true opportunity to get the most from your talent.
I'm going to go baseball.
Yep, that's Nolan Ryan.
Okay.
Giving wise words of advice.
Sure.
All right. The weird thing about me is that I'm naturally an introvert, so I don't talk to people.
I'll go wrestler.
Yeah, that is Eli Drake, now known as LA Knights. Here, I picked that one hoping that you were going to think that maybe it was Zach Greinke.
Oh boy.
Fair enough. All right.
Greinke ones are even crazier than that.
All right. Last one here for you. This is the 20th. Sure. If your goal isn't to be on top, then you don't deserve to be here.
I'm going to go baseball.
And you end on a low note, as that was a wrestler, Big E Langston.
Darn it.
All right, so let's tally up the scores. You got the first one right, third one, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. You got 13 out of 20.
Okay, I'll take that. I thought I got like 8. Okay.
Yeah, no, you went on a really good pace for a little bit there, where you just got like, that is correct, near the middle.
Solid.
So honestly, good job. I'll give you that. Like, it's about as much confidence as I have in the Braves winning the playoffs here. About a little more than 50%.
Thanks. I guess.
It's just going off of the last segment we did. I'm just being cack.
Thanks. Okay, great, wonderful. Clap it up. Woo, 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 woo. All right, boys and girls, are we ready for our time to ourselves?
Yes.
All right, Alex, I would like to go first.
Go for it.
Count me down, my friend.
Your time begins in 3, 2, 1, begin.
All right, as per requested by actually no one, I'm going to do my all Pookie Bear team. As Alex is losing his mind in the background. All right, basically my favorite player to every position. Why not? First base, we're going to go with our Lord and Savior, better than Freddie Freeman, Matt Olson. At second base, we'll go with Ozzy. I didn't think this through. In center field, I'm going to go Michael Harris. DH, I'm going to go Byron Buxton. Right field, I'm going Ronald Acuna. Starting pitcher, we're going Spencer Schwellenbach. We're running out of names real fast here. Shortstop, we're going the GOAT, Arky Vaughn. Third base, we are going to rock and roll with that's a good question. Catcher, B-Mac, Brian McCann. He should be in the Hall of Fame. Eat my shorts, buddy. We need left field and third base. Shortstop, Andrelton Simmons. I already did shortstop. Frick. Arky Vaughn can play third. Andrelton Simmons, the GOAT, can play shortstop. I guess Arky can play left. He played a little bit of left during his career. Third base. I'm going to put Simba at third. Or we're going to put Simba at short. Arky Vaughn's going to play third. Joey Gallo's going to play left field for the memes. Great.
You know what? Honestly, I respect it. I was trying to keep like a mental tally in my head, like over under 7.5 Braves on this list.
Could I did that straight off the dome, so there's probably someone I missed. I am deeply apologetic to them.
Nah, no worries. It's all
right. Alex, your turn, buddy.
Yep. All right, give me a countdown.
Tres, dos, uno, proceed.
Mariners, what is happening? Seriously, the offense has just gone completely away. The pitching is still good, but man, I'm not saying that, like, again, going back to the earlier segments, I still have confidence that they're going to win and they're going to pull out of this here. But it's painful to watch some of these games. It truly is becoming painful because you will see these guys just come up in amazing situations and then just completely fall flat on your face. Please figure it out. I still can't help but think back to the summer where I was in Colorado and you had a double-digit lead in the division and you lost the division. Please do not have a repeat where things were looking good and then everything just falls apart. Please, I beg of you. Also, I am absolutely melting right now. Slash, you are still muted.
It'd be like that. I'll have to swim to work today, unfortunately.
Yeah, fair enough. Understandable. I'm going to have to swim through my living room.
It do be like that.
Mm-hmm.
And you're swimming through a slightly different material than I am, so ick.
I was about to say, that's just bad all the way around.
Yeah. Very humid.
Thank you to everyone for tuning in as well. Appreciate all you guys coming in to chat.
Absolutely. Shout out to Ralph, XYZ Ballin, Eddie, Double Bass. All right. That'll wrap us up for episode some number of Lost Above Replacement. I have been Mac, definitely Mac. Alex has been Splash, definitely. Shout out to Mac. He's great. The Mets are not great.
And this is Splash.
Hey.
Mike Willava.
Cool. I don't think I have a Stanley.
Nice. Stanley.
Yeah. I think that's about it. Yeah, so let's wrap up. I'm Splash. You can follow me on Twitter, Mr. Splashman19. You can follow Alex at the Sports Guy 242. You can even follow Mac at Mathias_A_K. You can follow us as a group at LAR_baseball. We're also on Instagram. If you're listening to us on Spotify, give us a 5-star review, leave a comment, say, you guys are great. You guys are even, hey, you guys could do this better. I'm open to criticism.
Please, yeah.
Constructive criticism.
Yes.
Constructive. If you're watching us on YouTube, drop a like, drop a follow, drop a subscribe, say comment what your favorite Simpsons bit is. That's your question of the day. What your favorite Simpsons bit is.
Okay.
And for all of us at Lost Above Replacement, we sure hope if you're listening to us on a podcast, you go check out the YouTube page. If you're listening to us on YouTube, watching us on YouTube, you check out our Spotify page. So thank you. and to all, a good night.
Go crazy, folks! Go crazy! It's a home run!